Hi, Cameron. I wanted to leave you some feedback on your thesis statement and outline. First off, don't forget to format your submission in MLA, so don't forget to include your heading and your header over here in the right-hand corner. So I think that you are bringing in some good summary details, and then I can also see the beginning of a thesis statement. Good work using the claim because reason model, right? So what I can see clearly is this is your claim. Orwell uses ethos to convey his purpose, and then you have a reason. Um, so let's talk about a couple of things to help you clarify this. So as I said before, good work using the claim because reason model to present your thesis. It's really easy for me to see what you're trying to say. However, I do think you need a little bit of tweaking here to make this work. So first off, you say he uses ethos to convey his purpose. I'm not sure that the purpose is apparent yet. So in order to argue that he uses ethos to convey his purpose, I think you need to state what that purpose is. So note that you really didn't state that up here. What you're doing is bringing in the plot points I think that the reader needs, right? So you're doing good work here, right? You're bringing in the details that the reader needs. But the one thing that's missing from the summary is the overarching main idea or the purpose, right? So just talking about capital punishment really isn't Orwell's purpose, right? You need to indicate what he suggests to the reader about capital punishment. And I don't think that's been clearly stated yet in the summary. So make sure that you get that in there, particularly if you're going to use this language in the thesis, which I think is a good idea. Second, I'm not so sure you're talking about ethos. So ethos refers to the credibility of the speaker or the writer. And to me, it sounds like what you're really talking about is pathos, which is emotional appeal. So when you say ethos, I'm thinking about, okay, so where are the moments in the text where she thinks he's using ethos? But you're talking about reaction, emotions, and a symbol, which to me all ties to pathos, not ethos. And the reason provided he allowed us to see what occurred during the incident as well as different reactions. This is a little bit too broad for me to fully understand what you mean here. But again, if you're allowing the reader to see or visualize the incident, and typically writers allow readers to visualize things through descriptive writing. Again, that's not ethos. I would consider that pathos. I mean, you could write about ethos in this paper and make it work, but I think that everything that you're talking about really doesn't indicate ethos. It's really more, to me, it's pathos and maybe a little bit of logos. So I might go back and review that lecture and think about, do you really mean pathos here? Do you mean another one of the appeals? And really, to me, it's never like one appeal in isolation. It's usually all three appeals. So I think a stronger way to write about this essay and to make a claim is to say that there's evidence of all three of the appeals: logos, ethos, and pathos. And this is how Orwell gets us to understand his plan. So I said before, in terms of your claim, or sorry, in terms of the reason, oops, I didn't mean to underline everything. I don't know how to undo that. I don't, I don't think it'll stay this way on your draft. Sorry. I tried to underline. I'm not sure what I tried to do there. Sorry about that. Okay. Anyway, in terms of your, reason, work on that, because I get the general idea, but he doesn't use ethos to allow the reader to see. He uses ethos in order to persuade the audience. Does that difference make sense? So the ideas that you have here are a little bit too broad for the reader to fully follow what you mean. I would work on narrowing this more something more concrete. You're being a little bit too broad there. So how you plan to unpack the essay, I think, is fine. Um, I think what I would work on is clearly identifying the purpose, and rethinking if it's really ethos that you mean or pathos. But I already suggested what I think. Um, Rarely is it one appeal in isolation. It's really all three of the appeals working together. All right, so those are the tweaks that I would do, on your thesis and your introduction, but I think it could work, right? It's just some narrowing and honing in, to clarify your ideas, and that's a great place to be at this point with the essay. And I'm sorry for underlining all this. I don't think it'll stick. Yeah, it won't stick on your end anyway. It might be that way in Blackboard, but it won't be like that forever. All right, thanks.